Hi, my name's Kimberly Eek. I'm the previous careers advisor at Maria High School. At the moment, I'm in a relieving role for the end of the year, but given that Mrs. Judy Ing has just taken over careers, it was unfair to ask her to do this presentation. This year, our senior subject selections are looking quite different because of COVID-19. So we're aiming to put together a series of online workshops and information for parents and Year 10 students to enable them to make the most productive choices for them. So this just gives you a look at the timeline of our senior subject selection process. In previous weeks, so last week we had the TAS Taster Day. The whole purpose behind this day is a lot of students haven't been exposed to a lot of the subjects in the KLA of TAS for the last couple of years. So this enables them to be able to have a look and explore around those subjects so that they can make informed senior subject selections. A part of this TAS Taster Day also was a careers session with Judy Ing, who spoke to the students about the subjects that would be offered and really focusing on their areas of interest so that they're making informed subject choices, enabling them to be the best person they can be at school. Year 10 were handed out booklets and their election or elective forms for their senior subject choices last week. We have had a UAC, which is a University Admissions Centre, and an ATAR, which is the Australian Tertiary Admissions Ranking, subject information evening for Year 10. This was Zoom, and the link will be with this presentation so that students who have not yet seen this and are interested or at all interested in tertiary education, such as university and getting an ATAR, this is a must-see for them. Coming up, and again, the links will be with this presentation, there will be an EVET, which is External Vocation Education and Training, or in other words, TAFE or TVET, some people may recognise it as, online presentation as well. So we're really lucky here in Maria to have the local TAFE so close, in such close proximity to the school, and this enables some students to be able to have a broader range of subject choices, things that may really suit them. We also have an SBAT, which is a school-based apprenticeship or traineeship presentation coming up. Again, links will be with this video. For any students who are interested in school-based apprenticeships or traineeships, so finding out more information about them and how that can be comprised as part of their senior subject package, then again, that is a must-see. We will have this, obviously, the Year 10 into Year 11 presentation and a possible expo as well, where students will be able to attend a session in the hall where there'll be a staff representative from each faculty. Students will be able to go up and ask any questions and receive any information from those teachers. Careers lessons are ongoing and will be ongoing until subject choices have been made, as well as ongoing careers interviews with Mrs. Ing in the careers office. Just a note that subject choices at this stage need to be made by Monday, the 17th of August. Some of the main things that are really important to be considered. Year 10 have all been told this, but we can't stress it enough for both parents and students that it's really, really important that they choose subjects that they're interested in and that they're good at. They need to also consider their end goal. So I know this is a really heavy question and a lot of students don't know exactly what they want to do after school, and that is fine to not know exactly what they want to do, but it is really important that students start to think about some possible options for them. And then once they have those goals, we can come up with some little stepping stones and ways that they can reach them, work towards that. But the basic ingredient for success in Year 11 and Year 12 and university is being able to choose those subjects, making well-informed choices, but based on what you are interested in, as that's what we're going to be good at and that's what we're going to enjoy putting time into and therefore get us the best possible outcome, whether that would be an ATAR, the HSC, or a Certificate 2 in, say, hospitality or construction, so vet subjects here at school, maybe a certificate or a qualification at TAFE. but it is what we're interested in that should really drive those choices. Some facts about the HSC. So this is important for all of our students in Year 10 going into Year 11, regardless of whether they're looking at university options or not. To gain a HSC, you need to complete at least 12 units in Year 11, which is most subjects are 2 units. We do have some 1 units being offered, such as sport, leisure and recreation, or sport, lifestyle and recreation, and also some extension subjects, but most subjects are worth 2 units. So we're looking at 6 subjects, 12 units for Year 11. The students need to do these 12 units to be able to progress into Year 12, in which they need to then do 10 units for the HSC or for an ATAR. Some things to think about is that English is compulsory. So we're really lucky here at Maria High School that we have such a fantastic English faculty, and we do have different levels of English that are a choice, for Year 10 to choose. So based on how they're going at English, we have the advanced course, we have the standard course, and then we also have a fairly new course that has been around for a few years called English Studies. Now, English Studies is the easiest level, or the lowest level if you like, of English, but there still is an option for that to be an ATAR or a non-ATAR pathway course. If a student does require any more information about what English course they should choose for them, what is right for them based on university admissions or how they're travelling and have been going in English in junior high school, it's really, really important that they go and speak to Mr. Northey, the head teacher of English, or any of their English teachers for this information. As I said, English Studies is a course that runs, and it is the easiest level of English. But we do recommend that students who are after an ATAR or are thinking about university at this stage do not pick English Studies, that they're picking either standard or advanced. With the 6 subjects or the 12 units that the students choose for Year 11, we highly recommend maths for a couple of reasons, but it runs on a line by itself, because nearly all of our students do it. It is a skill, or numeracy is a skill that is needed for life, so regardless of whether a student is planning on finishing Year 12 or not. So for Year 11, maths is highly recommended. We are really lucky again that in mathematics we have different levels of maths that start or branch off a little bit more in Year 12. So we do have Standard 1 maths and Standard 2 maths, as well as advanced maths and extension maths. But the standard course in Year 12 enables students who are not looking at an ATAR to change into that course and continue to do maths for their HSC. With the HSC, so in Year 12, at least 6 of these units need to be courses examined by the Board of Studies, so endorsed courses. The HSC is a major milestone in continuing their learning journey. So it's really, really important that students know about all of this information before they pick their subjects. With the HSC Marks, for each course, students will receive 2 marks. It is a school assessment mark, which is based on assessment tasks and tests, and an examination mark, which is based on a HSC examination. These marks indicate the standard that the student has reached in that course. We know that university isn't an option for everybody, but if university is an option, it is very important for students to remember these things. For a Year 12 New South Wales school student, the ATAR, or the Australian Tertiary Admissions Ranking, is the main selection criteria to get that student into university straight after school. Now, that's not saying that a student doesn't get an ATAR that they're never able to go to university, because of course there are many different pathways and programs and entry schemes, such as getting a Cert 4 at TAFE and then going as a mature age student. However, the ATAR is the most direct way for a Year 12 student to go to university. Some courses have prerequisites, such as portfolios, particularly courses like visual arts or design. Some courses have interviews as general admissions. Most pathways to university, like I've said, involve the HSC. So it's really, really important if students are remotely thinking about university at this stage, or if they haven't ruled it out completely, that they're considering this when they're making their subject selections. It's important that they know that the subjects they're choosing are ones that are going to go towards the HSC, but more importantly, the ATAR. With university, and I know the girls from UAC went through this in far more detail, so I won't go over it too much. There are ways that the ATAR, or the Australian Tertiary Admissions Ranking, can be boosted, if you like, by allocated points. So because we live in a rural area such as Moruya, there is an automatic upgrade, 3 to 5 allocated points from various universities for those students to be able to increase their ATAR and be considered. There are also disadvantage codes. This is something called Educational Access Scheme, where students are able to claim, if you like, any disadvantage they've suffered during year 11 and 12. There will be much more on this information when the students are in year 11, and then again, we focus a lot on it in year 12 as well. With the ATAR is about position. It is a rank, not a mark. And it provides information to universities about the student's academic achievement in the HSC in relation to other students. So again, I'm sure UAC went through this in far greater detail than I'm going to, but it's really, really important. The best way I've had this explained to me is like it's running a race. So you can control how you prepare for that race, whether that's through, using this metaphor, whether that's through good nutrition, sleep, training preparation, mental rehearsal, but you can't control how everybody else goes. So you run that race on that day. We're talking about the HSC exam, and we prepare by studying and doing our assessment tasks, but you can't control how everyone else goes. So you'll finish up somewhere in that lineup and be given a number, and the University Admissions Centre looks at the numbers from those various subjects and works some magic, does scaling, which I'm sure they went into as well, and then figures out that student's ranking. So to get an ATAR, students need at least 10 units of board-developed courses. So these are in their booklet, and it explains what a board-developed course is compared to content ones. So these are HSC courses. The board-developed ones are HSC courses that are examined by the Board of Studies. So they need at least 10 of those. Your ATAR is based from your best 2 units of English, which most English courses, whether it's the English studies, which again isn't recommended for someone who would like to get an ATAR, but we can do that, standard English or advanced English, are all worth 2 units. And the reason it says the best 2 is because if a student is doing an extension English subject, then that counts as 1 unit. So they take your best 2 units of English and then the best 8 units from the remaining courses. Now, we have a lot of people at Moruya High School who go from 12 units in year 11 down to 10 units in year 12, and that isn't something that they have to do. There are benefits to this, but there are also disadvantages, which we would discuss at a later time when the students can make that choice. But you don't have to do 10 units in year 12. You can do 12 units, and that means that it gives students a little bit of a buffer zone if they happen to not go as well as expected in a particular subject. If you are intending on studying at university, you need to make sure you're eligible for an ATAR. So we can help students as much as possible with this, and they're welcome to ask either myself or Mrs. Ing questions in regards to this. But like I said earlier, if a Year 10 student is remotely interested in studying at university, it's really important they're on an ATAR pathway. If university is an option for our Year 10 students, it's really, really important that their subject selection reflects this. Their subject selection for Year 11 and Year 12 should also reflect the degree that they want to study. Now, like I said before, students are not expected to know exactly where they want to go and what they want to do. And some students might think they want to go to university but are not sure what universities offer. So now is a perfect time to start exploring those things. Again, the student doesn't need to know exactly what they want to do and where they want to go, but if university is an option, perhaps just thinking about the subjects they're excelling in at school, the subjects they're choosing, the subjects they're interested in, and then having a look at the types of degrees that universities offer based around those. So to get information regarding prerequisites, which some courses do have, or even recommended studies, and bonus point information for choosing particular studies related to those degrees, see Mrs. Ng for more information. In terms of university options and levels of maths, levels of science or types of science, or English, it's important again that students see Mrs. Ng or even to see the head teachers of those faculty areas. So for maths, we have Mrs. Dengate, for science, Mr. Harper, and for English, Mr. Northey. So in summary, how do I get a good ATAR? Again, choosing courses that students are interested in, that they're good at, and that are relevant to what they want to do. Working hard is really, really important as a senior student, and so is having a life. So having a balanced lifestyle. One thing I did want to mention or just quickly brush over was EVET, which is External Vocational Education and Training. And some people talk about this as still being TVET, which is TAFE, Vocational Education and Training. As I said before, really lucky that we have our local TAFE so close, within walking distance to the school. TAFE do offer a variety of courses which students can find out about. And it is just worth keeping in mind that TAFE do offer those things. And if students are interested in those courses, it just provides a bit of difference or maybe a little bit more specific pathway for senior subjects for them. So that is worth exploring if students are finding it difficult to pick from the subjects here being offered at school. The other thing is with SBATs, which is school-based apprenticeships and traineeships. They're a fantastic way that students can still get an ATAR in some cases, complete their HSC and years 11 and 12 at school, as well as have some paid employment while getting a credential in a particular area. So if you think of a school-based apprenticeship and traineeship being like a triangle with the student in the middle, one of the points is school, the second point is work, and the third point is the RTO, or the Registered Training Organisation where that student studies. Then that student, it looks like it can be different, but the student will generally work 1 day a week, which is paid at apprenticeship or a traineeship wages. They go to TAFE 1 day a week, or this may be online, where they're studying for a credential, which counts as one of their subjects, so as 2 units, and then they're coming to school the remainder of the time. So we recognise and appreciate that school isn't for everybody, and apprenticeships and traineeships, the school-based ones, are a way that a lot of students can still complete their HSC while starting in an industry that they're really, really interested in. Okay. Obviously, with an online presentation, there's no scope for questions, but when we do upload this, we will give you some means and some ways to be able to ask these questions and have them answered, as well as the students being able to approach Mrs. Ng or myself, and we can give them the information that they need. Thank you.